Come and look at this lovely board book I found tackling a difficult subject.
When is too young to learn about racism? So often people say children, when they're very young, don't need to learn about it. And then I found this rather interesting book aimed at quite young children called Standing Up to Racism. And it's a Lift the Flap book. So it's written by Dr. Pragya Agarwal, and it just looks really interesting. Really lovely to notice that we have on the cover picture 2 of the children are wearing glasses and 1 is wearing a cochlear implant, which is always nice to see that intersectionality. I thought it might be nice to look together at the flaps. So first of all, we've got introduction of the diversity of people, with the analogy of we're like a box of crayons, and how important it is to have that differences. And we've got Avi and B, who both have brown skin. Yeah, again, we've got a cochlear implant. Only 1. I'm not sure why so often children are pictured with only 1, when most children I know have 2. Shall we see what's underneath? So looking at their differences, saying that although they both have brown skin, they don't like the same things. Then are told how skin colour works, that it is the melanin in the skin that makes the difference. Sorry, my light went off then. This is the one thing that makes us all special in our own way. Right, I've plugged in the lamp now. Not good relying on the batteries. I like the fact it looks at no one colour being better than the other. And then 2 children looking at them having different melanin levels. And just, our skin is beautiful. So what we've got is a sort of explanation followed by a picture with the flap, rather like this. So here we've got the introduction to prejudice. Some people might think that one skin colour is better than another. Some people might be unkind to others because of their skin colour. When this happens, it's called racism. When people are in charge are racist, they can cause a lot of unfairness. I really like the very simple language, simple and clear. So here we've got Zuri and Anna. And the focus here is them looking different but being worth the same. And again, with this lovely intersectionality of the child having a birthmark. Let's see. We're all friends, we are kind to everyone. And on the inside of the flap, there's the added information. Very straightforward, very child friendly. Then we've got an explanation of what racism can actually look like. And it's quite nicely done in that it's, we've got not playing with someone, thinking that their food smells different, making fun of someone because they speak differently or because their hair looks different. I think that is real, the racism that small children are experiencing and making sense of. And it looks at, though, why we might have those differences. We all have different food, clothes and festivals. This is because of our heritage. And here we've got Pfizer and Ida. It asks you to describe a food that comes from your own heritage. So it's reflecting back on the children again. So you then got Pfizer explaining as a Muslim she celebrates Eid, and about eating sweet noodles in milk called sewai. And it explains heritage as where our parents and grandparents come from. I think that's very important. That I think sometimes there's that feeling of why are people keeping up their traditions, and explaining that heritage is not about where you were born, but about where your family comes from. So then we're looking at equality and what inequality looks like. And shows 6 toys are shared between Dia and Eze, and they're showing it as one child having 1 and one child having 5. And then shows that equality, everyone should be equal no matter what their skin colour is. Interesting, it's not showing everyone, both of them having the same things, but them having an equal amount. So here we have Dia and Eze, and asks should they have different amounts of toys because they look different. And I'll pull it down, and it shows the toys shared out. Just simply, we should treat each other fairly. So this is really exploring what fairness and equality is about. Now we've got what to do if you're a victim of racism. Advocating for yourself by saying it's not nice, moving away from that person, telling an adult, and also remembering it's not your fault. I think this is really positive. It's not, if someone is racist, you must go and tell a teacher. It's tell them, move away from them, tell an adult, continue being confident. Tell an adult it's important that they listen to you. Talk to them about your feelings. How does it make you feel when someone is mean to you? And I think this is really nice because it validates the feelings of oppression. Please listen, it's important. I'm listening to you. And it's okay to feel sad when someone makes fun of you or is mean to you, but always remember it is not your fault. I think that's really simple and powerful, because it's about acknowledging that the feelings are real, but they don't justify what the other person has said. So now we're going to look at what you can do if someone is racist to you. And again, this is really important. This is the sort of thing that I didn't have as a child. No one telling me, well, if you see racism, what can you do about it? And again, really simple 4 steps. You can go and sit with them. You can ask if they would like a hug. You can ask them how they feel. And you can tell a teacher or another adult about it. And introduces the language of being an ally. So we've got Mia and Eli. And again, we've got they've got a clear implant, and looks at what you can do to help. And it is not Mia looks after Eli. It's we are allies. We stand against racism. and focusing on being an ally as being a good citizen and friend. So then's the focus on it being fairer and that everyone can achieve their dreams. And again, we've got this wonderful intersectionality. We have one child is deaf, one child uses a wheelchair, one child uses an has an eye patch to correct for eye problems. So ask, what do you think you can do? And each of them children have a placard that says what they are doing. Here are Dev, Sula, Khalil, Uma and Zoe. These friends have all promised to work together to stand up to racism. Really simple, really nice. And I can imagine using this book in a class and for each child to create their own little placards like this. Yeah. And then we've got the notes for parents and carers. So this is about starting conversations. And also has further reading to adults of the book of a book by Dr. Pragya Agarwal, Wish We Knew What to Say, which I think we'll need to look for that. I think it's important to realise that this is about introducing the concepts at a very simple level, and that it says as your child grows older, you can become more nuanced in how you approach the topic. For example, you might talk about power and privilege, white supremacy and the history of colonialism more specifically. And I think it's so nice to actually have a book that is about being anti-racist. And this is the back of the book. It's something really nice about it. And I think what is really nice is that this book is intersectional. It is not playing up to stereotypes. It's not talking down to anyone. I think there are very few parents who would have any problem with this book being used with their children if they'd seen it. And it's just a really nice little book. And it's published by Patter Cake. So I would say this is a little book that would benefit from being in every primary classroom, or Key Stage 1, I guess. But really nice, really simple and well written. Thank you for listening to me talk about it. I'd love to hear down in the comments what you think. Do you think there's ever a time where the children are too young to talk about racism? Are there things that we should be doing more to address racism with smaller children? But my view is very much that by addressing this from the earliest stages, where the idea of being anti-racist is coming through from the start, that is how we start to create a fairer world. Thank you so much for listening. Goodbye. Because diverse books really make the difference.